Right, well, still in the Lake District, still fishing. Just clean that lens. Just get you set up just get my gear set up, and then we're out there fishing. Forget my head when it weren't screwed on. Oh, I've hurt my ankle from Parton Beach, I think it was, walking on the rocks, so that hurts. And but yeah, we're at Bootle today. It's Wednesday the 26th. Fishing here today, catching high water, 5:30. About a 7 metre tide, just under. And there's a chap fishing over there, so I'm to the left of him. I was going to fish over that side, but there, I'm fishing here now. So, excuse for the lumping and bumping. Got to get to the water's edge. Yeah, that's better. Now there used to be rocks on this beach, and I think they're right in front of me, which I don't want to get snagged up. So I might just chuck out to start with, very shallow. There is loads of worm casts here. And yes, again, forgot my bait pump, didn't I? Look at it, it's like a bloody mine, it's like moon. So yeah, this is Bootle. I'm parked over there. There's a chap fishing over there. I haven't seen him pull anything in yet. Loads of rocks over there on the beach, but this bit here is clean. And I'm fishing into this. I believe these are black lug. If they aren't, well, they've got to be black lug the size of them casts. Plus you've got this big hole. Just wish I'd brought my bait pump, but look, that's what I'm going to be fishing in. Hopefully I'll be able to reach that, and hopefully we'll get a fish or two. Tide comes in quick here, I think. Well, there's seaweed out there because I've got it on my line already, and I take it that's what's banging me rod. So it might be a bit of a downer of a day. We don't know yet, do we? But we only just got here, first cast out. Rod's bouncing up and down because there's weed on it. Wow, nearly lost my camera in the water then. Oh, it's a hard job keep walking backwards and forwards. Set your stall out down there. And then you're moving back again. So yeah, at Bootle I've got squid out at the minute. It's first bait that's you can get on a hook really, to be honest. Bait just come out of the freezer quarter an hour, 20 minutes ago. Got weed on the line already and it's weighing down. It's going to be one of them days. It's going to be a struggle, I think. But we're out fishing, aren't we? Now on when I went to Salton Bay, there wasn't a drop of weed really. It might have been a little bit of lettuce stuff, you know, just pull off easy. This weed's quite bad, but the weed at Harton Bay was terrible. It was well, it snapped my line off because it had weighed my line down into the rocks and had rolled around, and when I pulled it in it snapped off. But I did retrieve it and there was a fish on it as well, so that was a good thing. I didn't blank. It was an eel. It would have been nice if it was connected to my rod at the time, but it was connected to my rod, so as far as I'm concerned it's not a blank. And I like little snotty eels. They seem to save my bacon. There you go. I shall be back in a bit. This is the thing with this beach, you don't rush in hugely, but when it comes in, and you move your rod, put it down, and by the time you've moved your bucket, you've got to move your rod again. Look. I was literally out there 3 or 4 minutes ago. I've come back, put everything down. There was probably 10 metres between me and the water, and baited up my rig, cast it out, and I've got to move again. But you soon get back to your tackle box, that's one good thing. Right, I've got prawn on the pulley dropper now. Next rig out. I'm going to have to move my gear again. I can't see any weed on my line. Let's get these on. Yeah, just been getting loads of weed. Oh, it's going to go up my wellies. Jeez. Back that off. Right. There. You can look at my chiseled looks, can't you? See me back at the van. Right. So that's where I moved back from. I was in that water, remember? And then I picked my gear up, which for now is just a bucket of water. And then I put my bucket of water over here. And I've got water coming in over here behind me, so I'm on a plateau there, which is higher. It's always lower over there. That is where I normally fish. So I park my van there, go along and fish over there, so I'm in this, because that's the first bit that fills up. But I can't because my ankle hurts. And I'm not walking over the rocks today. And hopefully, if all goes to plan, on Friday, the day we leave, I'm going to Salton Bay again, fish low water. Means I'll get home late, but you got to do these things, ain't you? Because I ain't going to be at Salton Bay again for quite some time, so that's what I'm going to do. Salton Bay on Friday. All for you lot. Give you something better to look at, wouldn't it? Nice scenery, somewhere different, isn't it? And I've also got these pools there. Now I'm not saying that you'll catch fish in them, but out here, if I should cast short out here, I'm into them lugworm beds. And over here, just speaking to a fisherman, the chap that was fishing to the right of me, he's gone. He was pulling off loads of weed, and then when he was talking to me, I reeled in, and I had very little weed on my line. So hopefully it's going to die away, but you know it ain't going to be. So was chatting to him and said to him, isn't it great that there's new pits dug out here with forks and stuff, and then you always get the odd person that never backfills, don't you? And I said, it looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it, all the worm casts? He says, yeah, everybody up there just bait pumps. He said, there is a couple that dig, and I guess that's where these pits are here, but they must, the chaps that use the fork, they must backfill it in. It's not nice when you see all that dug out and it looks terrible, because other people can't use the beach then, can they? That's all I'm saying. But you do what you want to do, don't you? Just got to do it responsibly, ain't you? But I've got a bait pump and I keep meaning to bring it, and I always forget. The chap I was talking to, he just said he'd just chucked 10 worms away that he'd pumped, but he knew I was there fishing. I'd have had them. But next time I shall bring my pump. I shall remember. Get a bit of practice in. Look at this sky. It's a shooting range there, MOD shooting range. And you've got all this beautiful sky. Sorry about the sun. Look how big it is. And there, that's black comb. That fell in the distance. That's black comb. That's over 600 metres high. Been up there, climbed that. I think I've said that in a video before, but yeah, I've climbed that. It was glorious hot sunshine. We were getting sunburn, and that was in February this particular year. And by the time we got up there, the weather just turned instantly. And by the time we got down off the top, even with the cold weather clothes that we always took with us, I forgot my gloves, didn't I? Well, my fingers were frozen by the time we got down. And by the time we got about 50 to 100 metres down, my fingers started going pins and needles. They'd started to warm up a bit and get a bit of blood flow. Oh, it's terrible. But there, that's another story. We're at Bootle. Hopefully we're going to catch something, but I'm not holding any hope. It does look a nice beach for bass, and the odd smooth round. Plenty of lugworm on this beach. Once I get back to my tackle box, I shall go through my rigs and pull out some rigs that have got good size hooks on and get some good baits on. I shall be fishing prawn. I've got a pack of prawn to use up. But the chap I was talking to told me to use black lug, so I've got 2 racks of them in the bag, so I should be using black lug and squid as well. Anyhow, I should be back in a bit. I'm not going to put this camera down in the sand anymore because I'm forever moving it and it's coming in behind at the side of me, which means that gully will fill up. Anyhow, back in a bit. Well, I'm back here now. Here's the rocks. I'm glad I've come this side now, because since last year that used to be a hollow there and now it's all built up with sand. So I was going to fish down there because last year it looked the best place, but I'm glad I'm here now. But yeah, water's coming in. I've cast out. I guess you can see all the weed on my line. It's like a washing line. And all I did is I Didn't tighten the line up fast enough, that was all. I've only done a short chuck out as well. It's going to be hard work today. I would say I'm going to keep changing the baits regular. I don't know whether I'm going to get 2 rods out, because I will be taking weed off all the time. So I think it might be just as well to fish 1 rod, but fish it better. But less chance of catching, don't you? Because I could have a scratching rig out and a big rig out, but now I can only alternate between a large hook rig and a small scratching rig. So that's what I'm going to have to do, I think. If this weed disappears, then I'll get the other rod out. It's the way it is, isn't it? You have to take the situation and make the best of it. That's what you do when you go sea fishing, especially when you pick a week to go. Well, it's a beautiful day, but beautiful days don't make for good fishing, does it? Got a nice little bit of surf, absolutely fantastic scenery to look at. I've got the fells to look at over my shoulder. I've got St Bees Head over there to look at, which is another mark I want to fish, but I'm going to do it next year. And I can't even see the Isle of Man. It's not that clear out there. It's a little bit cloudy and misty probably. But yeah, what a beautiful day. But like I say, it don't make for good fishing all the time, because this is Weed City. I just left my line in the water for 2 seconds. Should have learnt my lesson from Parton Bay, shouldn't I? There's less rocks here. There's some rocks right in front of me, but once the water's in, they ain't going to affect me. The rest of it is clean sand, and I've got the weed on my line. But yeah, St Bees Head over there. You won't be able to see it. You might make it out. And then you got the fells over there. Fells behind me. My van's there with the wife in it. She won't get out. Don't know why. I expect she'll be cold. And down there you got Sailcroft. I've literally casted out probably about 40 yards, 50 yards to the left. And I've casted there because there was a great big hole there. So I thought I'll dump my weight in that hole. Now I've got black lug and squid on that at the minute. We've had 2 casts with squid. We've got black lug and squid on now, and that prawn is ready to go out next. But hey, even though there's weed bouncing around making my rod tip bounce, there is a good possibility that we can catch a fish today. You've got to have your you've got to be up for it, ain't you? So that's what we've got to hope for, and that's what we're going to do. But yeah, look at the scenery I got. Absolutely cracking sky. I never noticed the sky so much until I started fishing. Absolutely cracking. Look, the sun's up there, look. It's just hiding behind this cloud, which is just dimming it a bit. But absolutely beautiful. Forecast rain at about 4 or 5 o'clock for an hour. How they work that out, I don't know, but let's hope it don't. In these rocks that were down there, you can see the rocks there. You've seen the rocks earlier in the video. Loads of little tiny fish about this big. So I guess fish could come in feeding for them, couldn't they? Even flatfish. I ain't bothered what I catch today, as long as I catch something. But we'll have a good shot with the prawns. I've only got about 6 prawns, but that's 12 casts. That'll do me. I've got other bait to use, and I've got some fish bait. Let's see if we can get myself a dogfish. The chap I was speaking here, when I was right out there, was saying they're plagued with dogfish around there. Well, it's bloody oopso, eh? Well, it's like this. Keep it on that, will you, Dom? You cast out, and there's quite a bit of weed. Now, I'll show you how much weed there is. I cast it out and I didn't pull my line in to wind the slack up fast enough. The camera died because it ran out of battery, and I snapped off. And this is the amount of weed that's coming in. I'll just show you. Look at that. That's the weed that's coming in. It's unbelievable. But not only that, we've got this, and all this. Yeah. So look at it in the water. I'm pretty lucky that I'm over there and this has turned up here. Look at the state of it. Weed. Unbelievable, innit? Look at this great lump. Boy, if there's some veggies out there, you could come down there and get a good salad, couldn't you? Can you see it all in there? Of course you can. I'm getting too excited now. But yeah, to say I've got a problem with weed is just a small, slight problem. Like I say, if I was down there, this is where I normally fish, I'd be packing up and going home. But I'm over there, and my rod is getting weighted down now with weed. I'm going to have to go back to free it up. But yeah, look at all that. Unbelievable, innit? All in the water. It could start spreading down towards me, couldn't it? But hey, might be my first proper blank. Got to save me rod, it's going to go in, I think. I ain't going to fish 2 rods today, funnily enough. I don't think as many people would fish this anyhow. You up, Dom? Jesus, I swept right round. I've just casted that out. Literally, walked down there and shoot you the seaweed, and it was then dragging round, which is what happened last time when I snapped off. Right, I'm only casting out short. It's into deep water, it must be into 2 foot of water. Maybe a bit more. But there's just no point in whacking it out because you've seen the weed, I'll never get it back. And that reel, I'm going to have to re-spool that reel because I've had 3 snap-offs off that since I've been up there. I'm just not used to all this weed. I normally fish clean beaches. And then I moan about the humber, don't I? It's got nothing on fishing air. Take up some slack. Got to keep on top of this, boy. I've got a rig out there. I've lost a rig. There's a chap down there fishing, and if he don't get any weed, I'm getting in the van and moving down there. Yeah, it was cold. Look, I'm here with the wife. Yeah, this is just for prosperity. Prosperity? This is just for in the future. Yeah, this is just for in the future for when me and her are dead. Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll go first.
And she'll be the first one to go.
That bloody poison's got to work.
I've just got hooved up the weeds on that then. Yeah, when we're dead, if the girls remember Dad used to make videos and put them on YouTube, they'll be able to watch us and say, look, there's Mum and Dad, because that's what I started these videos up for in the first place. That might sound a bit morbid, but I'm just thinking of the future. Well, I've got a weed on the line, yeah. Bloody cameras fell over again. What a bloody day this is. Ain't getting on very well at all. I'm not a proper fisherman. the weed is getting less. I think it's disappearing, so I'm going to keep fishing because you just got to keep at it, haven't you? You can't give up just because a little bit of weed. And now it's getting less. I think I'm going to be in for some fish shortly. Well, sit rep is, it's 6:30. High tide was 30-40 minutes ago, and yeah, I haven't caught a thing. All I've caught is seaweed. When I was at Parton Beach, as soon as it hit high water, which it's gone that now here, but when it hit high water there, the seaweed just dropped and just disappeared instantly. But that's not the case here. It's all over the place, and yeah, I think it's quite obvious I aren't going to catch anything. But I'm still trying. I'm still watching that rod tip. I would have fished 2 rods, but there was no point because I'd have been clearing that much weed. It'd been new fishing, so probably best just as. Probably the only right decision I made is to carry on fishing just 1 rod. Probably should have gone when the other chap left, but I'm only here this week, aren't I? If I don't fish, I've got no chance of catching ever. So obviously, if you was local and started fishing here today, after about half an hour, you'd just go home, wouldn't you? And come another day. But I ain't got the option to come another day. So I'll be back in a bit if something changes, or I get a bite. See you in a bit. Well, that's it. I've cleared that off. This is all the weed. Plus all that weed over there, and all the weed that was out there that I picked off at the very start. So this is the end of fishing at Bootle Beach in Cumbria. I'd like to say, if you've got this far, I'm sorry for the blank, but we had to have another blank at some point because I've been catching quite a lot, and for me anyhow. Thanks for subscribing. Please stay subscribed. Please share these videos to boost my subscription if you would. Leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, and ring that bell for all notifications. And thank you for subscribing. It's much appreciated. Can't keep saying means a lot because it does, but keep saying it. People think, well, you know what I mean. Thanks for subscribing. And sorry for the blank, but you've seen how much weed there's been. You've seen how much weed's been down the beach. And we started right out there. And there's all the weed. So let's hope we catch in the next one. The next one should be early hours of the morning at Sailcroft. And if there's weed like this, after I've been there half an hour, I think I should just pack up and go home. Let's hope it gets washed away and the weed disappears. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and please share the videos. See you later, and I'll catch you in the next one. Chap that was fishing to the right of me, he's gone. He was pulling off loads of weed.